Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back to another video. We're going to be live today. Actually, we are live today. So as you guys come in today, do me a favor and let me know where you're coming from. And also, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up and let me know if you can hear me. Excuse me. Just give me a thumbs up, guys, in the chat and let me know that you can hear me okay. And we're going to have a conversation today, guys, and the conversation is going to be about 2024. What to expect, what to do in terms of our finances in 2024. So just give me a shout, quick thumbs up. Let me know that you got me, you can hear me, and that we're rolling. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. One conservative, fantastic, loud and clear, just blaze. Guys, also let me know where you're checking in from. What city, what state, what country that you're in. You know, where are you right now? We're at the end of 2024. So let's talk about the new direction we want to go with our money, right? The whole point, guys, is stop being broke in 2024. How can we change this thing around, guys, and go to another direction with our money? That's the whole key, and that's what the focus of this live is about. Also, I'll be answering some questions, guys, doing some Q&A, a little Q&A here and there, checking the chat. And as we go through these things, so feel free, still got a cough. So feel free, guys, to drop a few things in the chat. You have a question, put a Q by the question in the chat. That really, really helps out when I'm looking at the chat and trying to figure out what am I talking about, who am I talking to, etc. So that really helps, guys. Put a Q in that next to your question if and when you have a question. And Hucklebuck, good to have you here. Good to see you. We got loud and clear. Thank you, Just Blaze, as I said. All right, we got hello, Rhonda White. How are you doing? Good. Near me. Fantastic. Good to have you. Let's see here. Let's see. Palm Desert, California. I don't know where Palm Desert is, but it certainly sounds very comfortable right about now, right? Let's see. Thanks, Crafty Librarian. Appreciate it. Oklahoma City. OKC is checking in. Fantastic. Good to have you from the great city of OKC. The Thunder are there, right? NBA team. Sacktown, Sacramento, California. Speaking of NBA teams, the Kansas City Kings went from Kansas City to Sacramento back in the 80s, and they've been out there ever since. So you guys got the Sacramento basketball team. Let's see, Indiana's in the house. London's here. Good to have you. London, New Jersey is here. Tampa, Florida's here. Is that a best books to read on money? We'll talk about that, RM. Hold that question because we're going to get to something very similar in just a bit. Is that South Australia? Fantastic. Good to have you here, Rickman. Yeah, RM said best books to read on money. Hold that thought, RM. We're going to answer that question and talk about that question because it's part of what I want to talk about. So good question up front. Chi-Town, Derek Rogers is here. Good to have you. The Netherlands, Danny Lopez. Good, fantastic. Checking in from quite a long way. Question: advice for someone on disability in Florida. Now, we're going to talk about D. Martin. Excellent question. Advice. Everything I say is going to be advice for you today in this live chat. So, this whole broadcast is going to be for you, and it will answer that question for you, D. Martin. Excellent question. Thanks for asking it. Broward County, Florida is here. Florida or Florida? I guess that depends on where you're from. Boynton Beach, one of my favorite. RC, good to have you here. Thank you so much. Sarasota, Florida. A lot of Florida folks here today. A couple of Chicago folks here. West side, south side, north side of Chicago. Cubs fan, White Sox fan, right? Which one? So glad to have you guys here. We're at the end of 2024, guys. Oh, do me a favor. Smash the like button below. As you come in, just hit that little thumbs up button for me. Please, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. I really, really would appreciate that. And of course, share this link if you have somebody you know that is looking to do some different things with their money in 2024 and they want a broadcast or a video that's going to give them some ideas and things to do. Please feel free to share this video with them as well. Guys, I got a link to Mint Mobile down in the description box below. All right, I partner with Mint Mobile, so I do talk about them because excellent premium wireless services, right? Excellent, and they use the nation's largest 5G network, so they're solid, right? And this channel is all about saving money. So if you want to save money, you do want to look in and click on that button that says Mint Mobile in the description box. You're going to save money on your wireless service. Also in the description box, get your 24 laws of money free. Would help me go from negative $30,000 net worth to a seven-figure net worth today. So check that out in the description box below. It's a free ebook from me to you. You can also join this channel, guys. Join for like $24.99, $24.99. I'll have a conversation with you. I had one today. I got one later. I'll have a conversation with you about your personal financial situation because personal finances is personal. I know that you get all this stuff that's across the board advice about money all over the internet, but your own individual situation is a little different. And so sometimes it requires some different thought. So also offer regular one-on-ones as well. They're 90 minutes or 2-hour one-on-ones. All that stuff is in the description box, guys. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much on this Thursday, showing up and just listening in. Even if you just listen and hear what we have to say about money and how growing money and what you can do to start, because a lot of folks just don't know where to start, but there's a new year coming up and people are curious, where can I begin to, look at my money a little differently and do some different things, right? And that's what we want to talk about on this quick video here. Georgia, good to have you. A little more volume on my mic. Yep, you can. Fantastic. Good question. Good point there. How about that? That a little better? Boop, 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 boop. Test, 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 test. Right. All right. George is in the house. Good to have you. Greetings. Couple of folks from Georgia. Fantastic. Georgia. I think that we say it that way if you're from the South, right? Not Georgia's. Georgia, right? Who was that? Ray Charles had a famous song about that. Georgia, and I'm not a singer, guys. Hey, Seattle, good to have you here, Miss V. ATL is checking in as well. Thank you, Lacey, for smashing the subscribe button and becoming a subscriber here on this channel. Guys, I don't have courses. I don't have a course. Um, I don't have anything like that. No fancy webinars, no meet and greet me and sit in my jet and all that kind of stuff. I'm just a really, really regular person that has done really good things with his money. Made a bunch of mistakes too, but that's what I try to help people stay away from the things that the mistakes I made. But I did a few things right, and that's what I try to help people on this channel with. Um, yeah, somebody said Fed is going to soon lower rates. What to invest in? We'll get there. We're getting there. I promise you guys. I promise you. But I'm going to be checking the chat periodically throughout what we talk about, guys, and I'll try to answer some more questions. But yeah, what to invest in? We'll see. Stay in the market. I can tell you that. Don't jump out of the market. Don't get scared. Don't get fearful. Big up to you, Boss Life Trucker in Miami. Good to have you here. And DMV, right? What is the DMV? DMV is in Baltimore, Virginia, Maryland, Baltimore, Virginia, and DC area. There you go. All right, so let's jump into it, guys. I got really 10 things I want to share with you on how to start some of and we'll talk about we'll talk about some of the top investments and how to level up your money in 2024. Right? How to get better with your money in 2024. So let's have this discussion, guys, and we can go back and forth. I'm going to be doing a little Q&A later as well, guys, but I want to give you these 10 things. Maybe I'll stop at 2 or 3 and answer a few questions and look at the chat. I'm kind of looking at the chat right now. So I'll stay up on that, guys. But please, again, smash the like button if you're here. Don't forget to do that. That really helps this video and this information get out to more and more people. Let me know if I'm too loud, by the way. I just turned up my mic just a bit. All right, so first thing is this, guys. If you want to level up your money in 2024, where to start? Right? Where to start? First thing you got to do is you have to start with this one thing. This is going to take you very far, so pay attention. You got to commit in 2024 or commit coming up to building a strong foundation with your money. I always lead when I have these conversations about the foundation of your money because I run into so many people, guys. You wouldn't believe how many people contact me and they want to make more money. They want to increase their income streams. They want to learn how to do this. They want to start a YouTube channel. They want to do all these things. But the problem that I see a lot of times is people want to start these things on a shaky foundation. Right? They don't want to take the time and the effort to actually get a really strong, solid foundation, a strong base with their money first. It's just like a house or building something you build, right? You have to build what you're trying to build in terms of financially on a strong foundation because if you build it on a weak foundation, it's not going to be strong. It's going to go away. Something's going to happen. You're going to have an emergency come up, and all of a sudden, if it's a strong foundation, then you can withstand some of the issues that are going to come up in terms of your money, right? Now, look, when you start to talk about, I'm going to commit to building a strong, solid foundation, you may lose some friends, point blank. You may lose some friends because some people are going to tell you, hey, we're trying to go to this concert over in Belize, and we're going to take this trip. It's going to be a guy's trip, and we're going to take this trip to Belize, and we're going to play stop, and we're going to go over to South Carolina, Hilton Head, play some golf, and you're going to tell them, that's not really in the cards in terms of my money right now in 2024. So I really don't want. The point is, you may lose some friends, and then you may lose some family as well, who are looking at you like, who do you think you are? Why you can't hang out with us? You can't go spend money this. You may lose people along the way, is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. And if you lose people along the way when you're trying to build your money and you're sick of being tired and sick of being broke and sick of not having no money and you want to start to do things differently, you're going to lose some people, right? It's not going to be pretty. Everything's not going to be rosy. Everybody that you thought was going to be for you is not going to be for you. Everybody you thought that was going to support and celebrate when you got your $10,000 emergency fund finally together, the people you thought were going to celebrate you and be happy for you may not be happy for you, right? They may not like you. They may be, listen, I always say this, guys. A lot of times people don't like you because of who you are. A lot of times they don't like you because of who they aren't, right? Who they are not. So they look at you and say, "Oh, so and so thinks they're better than everybody else now because they want to do this with their money and they have a little money now." You got to be willing and ready to handle that, right? That's going to happen to you. If you're trying to get your money together and get your life right in terms of your finances, you will run up against haters, but haters always punch up, always, right? People that are up here, right? They're usually not punching down on haters, right? Haters are typically people who they believe in their own mind they're below you, so they're punching up at you. That can happen when it comes to your money, and you're trying to change your financial situation, and you're trying to get started doing something different than you've always done it. See, a lot of people are used to you being this person, but when you begin to change with your finances, you kind of change the way you do things, where you hang out, how much money you spend here, the type of stuff you buy. And guess what? Some people won't like that. Be ready for that, right? But also, when it comes to committing to building a strong foundation with your money in 2024, you've got to begin to develop a philosophy about money. What do you, it typically has to be a different philosophy. If you're trying to get better with money, then you can't think the same way you thought that got you in the position that you're in with money, right? If you're looking at your money and you say, you know what, I'm 40 years old, I have $5,000 saved up in my life. Now listen, it's going to take an entirely different way of thinking so that in 5 more years you have $100,000 saved up or invested, right? So you've got to change the way you think. You got to look at a philosophy. What is your philosophy about money? To date, whatever your philosophy about money has been for the last 20 years is what you have right now in terms of your personal finances is a result of that philosophy, of that way of thinking. So what I want to tell you is that in 2024, you've got to, if you want to stop being broke or change the way your money situation is, you have to change your philosophy about money. If you're watching this video, you're probably on the right track because you're starting to get new information. You're starting to think differently. You're starting to look at a different way of doing things with your money, a different way of managing and handling your money. So you're on the right track. But you have to begin to develop your own personal philosophy with money. Don't take it from smart money bro, me. You develop your own philosophy about money. Don't take it just from Dave Ramsey or Robert Kiyosaki or you name the person, right? Don't just take it from them. Take it and develop how you believe about money and what you think about money. Now, if you ever have a one-on-one with me, I may ask you point blank, what is your philosophy with money? You may not have a philosophy. You may not know what your philosophy is, but I want you to start thinking about how you think about money. What do you think about money? What is the purpose of money? How should money be handled and managed, etc.? That's what I want you to begin to think about, right? Because you have to develop that if you want to change your behaviors, because everything starts here. How you think, right? How you think determines how you behave, and how you behave determines your outcomes with money and in life, right? But it all starts with thoughts. Thoughts become behavior, behavior becomes outcomes. And right now, if you don't have the outcome you want with your money, then you've got to change the way you think about money and develop a philosophy that works, not a philosophy that puts you in $150,000 debt like you are right now, or like you may be, right? Or a philosophy that has you 40 years old with $2,000 to your name. That's that's not, you want to change that philosophy. Now, if you're doing great with your money, which many of you probably are, typically on this channel, guys, we get a lot of folks that are doing really well with their money, have made a lot of good decisions with their money. But if you're in that boat, cool, right? You got a philosophy and things you do great. But if you're not, change it. That's number one. Commit to building a strong foundation with your money in 2024. The other things I give you on here on where to start, that's all a part of developing this strong foundation. All the things, number 2 through 10, what I'm going to give you is going to be building on the idea and the notion of committing to building a strong foundation with your money. Okay, that's number one. All right. Let's see. Let's keep her rolling. Number two, the second thing to start, right? And we'll get to top investments and all that. We'll get to all that, guys. But to stop being broke in 2024 and to start somewhere, you need to get clear on this one question. I'm going to ask you one question, and I want you to think about it for a second. This is probably the hardest question for most people to answer about their money. I'm going to ask you right now. And it's a question that in 2024 you need to begin to answer. And you need to probably start to try to answer it before you get to 2024. All right? You may be able to answer it right now, but most people that I've ever talked to, hundreds of people about their money, this question throws everybody off, right? Here's the question. The question is this: what do you actually want with your money? Sounds like a really simple question at first. It sounds very elementary, but listen, most people are not clear about exactly what they want from money. It's a very hard question from money. Now, we're not talking about one in life, and I want to know specifically what you want, not roundabout. Oh, I want to make more money, or I want to have several streams of income. I want you to be more specific. When I ask you, what do you want from your money? What do you want with money? Right? What exactly do you want to have with money? That's I need you to be as specific as possible, right? Now, like somebody in the chat said, financial freedom. What is financial freedom? What's that look like? Right? That's the question. You got to drill down into that question, not just answer it on the surface. We all can say, I want a big house and I want this, right? But drill down onto that. Not just what you want, but specifically, what do you want? Exactly what do you want? Right? I'm looking at the chat here. I want to be a good steward of it, be a good steward of money. Specifically, what does being a good steward look like? Right? I want to have the ability to do what I want when I work. Specifically, what do you want? Right? Don't be vague about it. Be specific about it. Right? Right? What do you want? You want money to work for you. Okay, how do you want money to work for you and how much do you want? What do you want specifically? Right? Try to drill down on that question, because drilling down on the answer to that question is going to really dictate the things that you should do. Because what you want is first. But in order to go about getting what you want, how do you go about getting what you want specifically? Right? And that leads to number three. Really, that leads right into number three. If you want to start to be better with your money and not be broke anymore in 2024, get clear about your goals with money, financially, personal, with your personal finances, right? Instead of setting, let me give you this idea. Instead of setting resolutions for New Year's, why don't you come up with your 3 goals for your money in 2024, right? Everybody needs a plan for their money, and a lot of people don't have a plan for their money. They just get it, not quite sure what to do with it, pay bills, have a little left over. What do I do with this leftover? Oh, this comes up, this comes up. You need a plan for your money in 2024. No exceptions here, guys. Specific money goals that have now when you do a money goal, guys, it needs to have specifics amount dollar amounts and it needs to have time frames associated with it. Right? I forgot they have an acronym for this or something. I don't know what the acronym for this is, but I've been I've been doing this for like 20 something years talking about goals and goal setting. So in the last 10 or 15 years, there's been some acronym come up for how you set goals, being specific and with time. I don't know the acronym. If you do, drop it in the chat. But you got to be specific, right? Specific time, specific percentages, specific money amounts, whatever it is. And then if you're setting your goals and trying to be clear with your goals when it comes to money and personal finances, don't have 10 goals. Please don't set 10 different goals. You set 10 goals, you probably won't achieve any of them. No more than 3 is normally good. 3 or 4. But just 3 goals is perfect for your personal financial situation, right? Maybe you have a goal about your emergency fund, a goal about your investing, whatever it may be, right? But only 3 goals, maybe 4 at the most in terms of personal financial goals. And the goals is how you get specific. So your goal shouldn't be, I just want to have a little extra money left over at the end of every month. That's too vague. Too vague. You need to say, I want to make sure I have $500 left over to pay on my debt at the end of each month or in each month. And I want to pay off all that debt by November 1st, 2024. I want to have $10,000 in my emergency fund by June 1st. Specific. Specific. And then every single goal, all 3 or 4 goals that you make up, you need to have action steps under each goal. Daily, weekly, monthly if necessary, but daily and weekly action steps under each goal. Now, listen, you might be saying to yourself, man, this is real basic elementary stuff. Yeah, you're right. Handling money well and being good with money is very basic and elementary stuff, but it's doing the basic elementary stuff better than most people because most people pass right over this very elementary basic stuff. But again, you're trying to set a firm, strong foundation with your money. And the way you set a firm, strong foundation is by doing the basic stuff well, doing it good, right? So, yeah, goal setting sounds like it's elementary, but guess what? Ain't none of this rocket science when it comes to money, right? You probably subscribe to 10 or 5 or 10 or 20 different money channels on YouTube, right? None of it is rocket science. They may make it sound like rocket science, but it ain't. It's really not, right? Let's see here. I'm gonna run back to the chat here. Boom, boom. When it work for me. Somebody said, smart goals, good. Oh, smart. That's the acronym. SMART goals. Smart. Okay, I forgot. I guess I should know that, right? Smart, but I forgot what it is. I don't even know what that stands for, but it has something to do with some of the things I just talked about. But let's see here. 24 goal. Hucklebuck said 500K net worth, 250K invested. Excellent. Fantastic. Now, after you set that goal, you have to have specific action steps that you're going to do to reach those goals. Somebody said, I want to pay off credit cards by the end of 2024. How much credit card debt do you have, Loretta? If you know how much credit card debt you have right now, use that number. I want to pay off my $10,000 in credit cards by December 31st, 2024, right? Go ahead and assign it specifics. Okay? Good. I want to save 10,000 in emergency savings account by what date, Loretta? What date? Right? Greetings to you, Christine from London. Good to have you. So you got to be specific. Again, we're talking about where to start. It's not glamorous. I don't want you to start with a Forex account and a Coinbase account, right? I don't want you to start there, right? I don't want you to start trying to bring in, um, try to grow your side gig, and don't start there. Now, the things I gave you in the first 3 things here, guys, in terms of committing to building a strong foundation, getting clear on what you want, setting goals, that ain't got to take you no more than about a day at the very most, right? It could take you 2 or 3 days. You want to think about it, sleep on it, right? Pray about it, meditate about it. But those things don't take long. I'm not telling you to wait, 6 months to do some of the other funner stuff, right? But more fun stuff, right? But these are the this is you're setting a foundation here. Stop trying to, you know, stop trying to do a whole bunch of stuff when you haven't done some of the basic foundational stuff well first. And that's where everybody kind of skips over because we watch YouTube and IG and Facebook and you name this the social media platform, right? We watch all these and we see other people doing this and doing that, and we say to ourselves, "Man, I got this good job over here making $80,000 a year, but man, I really want to work for myself and do something on my own, right?" But and we get caught up in that stuff kind of catches up on all of us, not just you or me, but a lot of people I talk to. 35 years old, excellent job, good family, making good money, but still wants to quit their job and go work on the side for themselves because they've been watching Earn Your Leisure, right? Whatever it may be. My point is, guys, let's stick to the basics first, right? So you have goals. Set specific goals with your money for 2024. Specifics, right? Amounts and time frames. And then under each goal, 3 or 4 daily action steps or weekly action steps that you have to do in order to achieve that goal, right? And then stick to the plan and know when to pivot. That's two different things, right? Stick to the plan, be disciplined, be persistent, be consistent, and then also know when you need to make a pivot here and there. It's nothing wrong with making a pivot here and there. Flexibility is the most underrated skill in the world. You got to learn to be flexible even with your money. You can revisit your goals and maybe you make a switch or a change here and there. That's cool. That's acceptable, right? You might want to say for 2024, I want to make a vision board on where I want my life to go and what I want in 2024. Listen to me closely, guys. When you decide to do something right, when you decide to do something different and better and move in a different direction with your money, problems will come along. Problems will happen. Things you're going to be beset with obstacles. I guarantee you, something is going to come up to throw you off and get you off path, right? But you can't be fooled by the problems that are going to come along when you commit and get focused with your money, right? That's going to happen. That's just a principle. It happens every time you want to get focused and do something different. Problems come, bumps in the road, right? Don't be fooled by that. Keep doing the right things with your money. Again, we're setting a foundation with all the things I'm giving you on this video. Number four, begin to read more about money. You're watching this video, doing some self-learning. You watch other channels and you do some self-learning, but self-learning is what separates people that do well and people that typically struggle. Honestly, being able to do some learning on your own, some self-study, some research, self-education. And I suggest you read more about money, read more about investing, read more about the stock market, read more about index funds and mutual funds and ETFs and what is primary market, secondary market, what is the Dow Jones versus the Nasdaq versus the S&P 500. You need to be reading about those things if you're interested in growing your money and changing how you think about money. All right. That's the one thing I know about people that are successful. They engage in self-learning. My suggestion is always read a book or two a month about money, about personal finances. You have to sort of learn the talk of money, kind of the language of money, right? Having those money conversations. Don't be afraid to talk about money, especially amongst your family, your friends, your children, whatever. Talk about it, right? Somebody asked earlier about some books. I like J.L. Collins, The Simple. Hey, if you guys know of a good personal financial book, drop it in the comment section for me, please. A good personal financial book. Of course, we know things like Millionaire Next Door, right? The Simple Path to Wealth. The old one, The Intelligent Investor, Millionaire Next Door, I think I mentioned. Total Money Makeover, Dave Ramsey, Your Money or Your Life. I forgot the lady's name that wrote that. What are some books that you guys recommend? Drop that in the comments for other people, guys. Guys, one of the things I like to do on this channel is say that this is our channel, right? It's not just Smart Money Bro, or this is for everybody to learn and to glean from, right? So if you have a lot of you guys in the chat, you know more, you know a lot of this stuff, more about some of this stuff than I know, right? So that's why I like the chat to keep it rolling, guys, because there could be some learning there. So hey, the wealth choice, somebody said, fantastic. What is who wrote the wealth choice? I'm trying to figure out. Do I have it? Hmm. No, I actually got Your Money or Your Life right here behind me. Vicky Robin, Vicky Robin. So Your Money or Your Life, of course, got 48 Laws of Power. I got The Random Walk Down Wall Street. So I got a few behind me, actually. Um, also got John Buck O'Neill, written by Phil Dixon, right? That's my brother-in-law. So Phil wrote that book. But the point is that, guys, read, read. Let's see. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay. Kiyosaki, I think, wrote that one, right? Let's see here. I'm just going through the chat here, guys. Hey, London. Yep. All right. Specific, measurable. Oh, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. That's what SMART stands for. Thanks for adding that, following the logic. Appreciate it. Saving 100 weeks, $100 a week towards a new car, being able to dollar cost average and max out Roth. Excellent goals right there. Let's see here. Thank you for your channel and service. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for saying that. I agree. Most people skip the basic. Yep, that's so awesome. Let's see here. I have some money that I'm wanting to do something with for the next couple of years until I save up enough for a small hobby farm. Excellent. Do I personally mentor people? Absolutely. You join this channel for $24 a month, and I mentor you we spend every single month, we get together for 15, 20, 30 minutes, and we have a personal conversation about your personal money, or I do one-on-ones that last 2 hours. It's in the description box below. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Absolutely. You guys tell me who wrote The Wealth Choice, by the way. Richest Man in Babylon is a good one. Millionaire Next Door. Absolutely. I think Dr. Stanley wrote Stop Acting Rich, and I think his daughter wrote one as well. What is that? Napolitano? Napolitano. Okay. Let's see. Wealthy Barber. I've heard of that one. I haven't read it, but I've heard that was a good one. Let's see here. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace. Okay. Let's see. Napoleon Hill wrote that book. Yep. Um, Dennis Kimbro. That's Kimbro. Absolutely. Oh, The Wealth Choice. Yes, Dennis Kimbro, professor out of Atlanta. Absolutely. I knew I had it. I have that book downstairs. Let's see here. Yeah, Dennis Kimbrough. There she goes. So there's some good books out there, guys. I suggest if you want to get better, you read and you get used to reading about money. We use it every day. Why not know as much as you can about it, right? Thanks, Hucklebuck, for adding the greatest salesman in the world. I want to write that one down. I'll come back to this chat and write that one down. I heard about that one, but I never read it. But that's the point. You need new knowledge, new information. And when you read information, now some folks don't like to read, they do audiobooks and so forth, and that's cool. But when you read information, it hits like different dendrites connecting in your brain and all that good stuff. So do what you can if you can. If you don't like to read, listen on audio. But start to bring in new information to your mind. This is how you start to build a strong, solid foundation with your money, right? New information, new stuff, right? New input makes different output, right? Let's see here, Psychology of Money. I heard some good stuff about that one. I haven't read it, but I heard some good stuff about the psychology of money. Thanks for adding that one. Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill. Good to have you here, Kathy Schumann. Guys, do me a favor, make sure you're smashing the like button for me. Hit that like button for me. Share this link to other people that want to start off 2024 on the right foot in terms of managing their money differently, investing their money differently, growing their money differently, thinking and having a new philosophy about money in a different way so that you can win in 2024 in terms of your personal finances. Number five. Now I'm going to do a little Q&A when we get done here, guys. I got 10 of these, but I've gone through the first four. Again, we're building a firm foundation with your money. Don't add new money on top of a weak foundation with money. And this is and lots of people do this. They go out and they make more and more income. They bring in more and more money, and they're adding that money to poor money behaviors, right? New income on top of poor money behaviors just mean you're going to mess up with more money, right? It's cool to add to your income. I want you to increase your income. I want you to make more money, have more money. But I don't want you to do that if you got a poor foundation with money, right? Don't add new money to a weak foundation. Get your foundation together, right? That's why we're talking about reading more money, changing your information. We're talking about setting clear goals with your money, talking about getting clear on exactly what you want with your money. And we're talking about committing. That means discipline, right? Persistence, consistency with your plan, with your money. in 2024. So let's talk about, excuse me, guys, let's talk about, I've had a rough cough. Let's talk about number five. Now, number five, the fifth thing that's going to help you start to get better with your money in 2024 is this: commit, and this is could be part of your goals if you want to, but commit in 2024 to not getting out of 2024. In other words, by December 31st of 2024, having an emergency fund that's funded, fully funded, right? Consider that, because there's nothing worse than having a lot of money or having a high net worth or whatever and not having $1,000 to change the tires on your car and get your brakes fixed, right? Because something went wrong and you had to get your tires done, or to having the washing machine in your home go down and go out, but you don't have the money to replace it, right? You have an emergency, and that could be considered an emergency for some folks, but if you have an emergency, you need to be able to cover that emergency. 53% of Americans report that they don't have an emergency fund. It's overhead. Now that's according to, I think it was on CNBC. There was CNBC did a study in cahoots with the website Momentum, and that's pretty shocking, guys. 53% of Americans don't have an emergency fund. Guys, that's number one. That should be probably the first thing you think about if you're trying to make sure your money is right. Now, that begs a question, of course, right? That begs a question. How much should you have in your emergency fund? The conventional wisdom says what? 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. I say 3 to 6 months of your needs. 3 to 6 months of your needs. What I mean by that is this, guys: 3 to 6 months of your mortgage, your giving, if you give, your mortgage, your car, your transportation, your lights, your water, your gas, the things that you need to operate into a home, right? 3 to 6 months of your needs. Now, listen, if you get your a haircut, if you're a guy and you go to the barber shop twice a month and spend about 75 bucks, 80 bucks, or if you're a lady and you go to the hairdresser once a month and you spend 100 bucks or whatever, that's not a need, right? You can live without that. I'm saying 3 to 6 months of your monthly needs. If you want to do 3 to 6 months of all of your expenses, that's cool too. It's up to you, right? Personal finance is personal. I say 3 to 6 months of your needs. Now, also, when it comes to how much you should save in this emergency fund, I always say if you have a, and most people say this, if you have a less stable job, or you work on, say, like a sales commission job and your income fluctuates, you probably want to have more in that emergency fund, right? If you more as in 6 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. If you have a very stable job, you are a teacher, you work for a government agency, you work for as an RN, a nurse, or something like that, then those are a little bit more stable. Maybe you can go with 3 or 4 months of emergency money, right? But focus, maybe try to have this emergency money, build it up. That's a foundation, right? It's nothing worse than having to go down to the payday loans place at the strip mall to go get you a loan at 20%, a payday loan, right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to be in that line. Next question might be where to put the money when you have an emergency fund, right? This is my suggestion. I don't really care where you put it as long as you can get to it quickly. I don't care if you put it in a high yield savings account. I don't care if you put it in the credit union down the street. I don't care if you put it in the bank or Bank of America that you bank at. Doesn't really matter where you put it. I'm not trying to get rich off an emergency fund. I just want it to be available. That's it. Doesn't really matter where you put this emergency fund. I'm not trying to grow this money, right? Okay, you want to put it in a money market account? Go for it. You want to put it in a high yield savings account where you can get 3 or 4 or 5%? Go for it. You want to put it at the savings at the I almost said savings and loan. I tell you how old I am, right? If you want to put it down the street at Navy Federal, wherever your local community credit union, doesn't matter. Just so you can get to it quickly because it is emergency fund. That's not what you want to rely on to grow. You want to be investing outside of that, right? Now, how are you going to build this up? Figure out how much and where you're putting it, obviously. Set it, make it one of your goals, how much you want to have and by when, and then make it automatically come out of your checking account or wherever you pay your bills from, whatever. You pay it to your emergency fund just like it's a bill, right? And then if you have to save your tax refund. Now I don't suggest you get large tax refunds, right? I really don't want you getting a big tax refund, but if you do get one, use that money to fund it. Hey, here's another thing. If you get paid 26 times a year, let me give you guys a little a little game on what I do. I only pay my bills twice a month. Okay. I pay my bills on the 1st and the 15th. I don't care if it's due on the 18th. I don't care if it's due on the 12th. And I don't want them going into my accounts and automatically pulling out the money. I pay most of my bills, more than half, little more than half of my bills myself, right? I don't do this thing where the water company can go right into my account and pull out what I. No, I don't do that because I like control. So I do have a few bills that do get come out automatically, but for the most part, most of my bills I pay twice a month, 1st and 15th. Period. And so I get paid 26 times a year. So I'm making 24 payments twice a month to pay my bills, but I get paid 26 times a year because I get paid every 2 weeks. If you get paid every 2 weeks and you pay your bills only twice a month, every single year, twice a year, you have an extra check. What do you do with those extra checks? Right? Right? What I do with those extra checks is I take out the things that I pay weekly, right? Grocery store, gas for the car, whatever those weekly things may be. I take that out of that check and then I use a big chunk of that check to go towards my savings, my emergency savings to make sure it's built up. I did this for years, right? Just a little bit of game on what you can do, but you got to think through that thing, right? I don't consider myself getting three checks, twice in a year getting three checks. I just pay my bills twice a month, 24 times a year, all bills. And if I do that, then I have two extra checks. That's 25th and 26th check. And they're usually about how much? 6 months apart, roughly 5 to 6 months apart is when they happen. Those two times, put a lot of that money, big chunk of it into the savings account, right? Right. So, and then the other thing about emergency fund is you got to figure out, what's an emergency and what's not an emergency. Stop using your emergency fund because you ran out of money somewhere else and you want to use that for some food or something. No, emergency money is for emergencies. Keep it as emergencies. You just have to adjust your budget when that's why you need to do a unique budget. And we'll talk about that, guys. Let me check the chat for a second. I appreciate you guys chiming in. Please smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it, guys. Outwitting the devil. There it is. All right. So I still read magazines like Money, Entrepreneur, Forbes. Fantastic. And that always helps when you do that, when you read more about it. Question: I have some money I'm wanting to do something with for a couple of years. What options do I have? You got a lot of options. I just checked. I just recently put some money in a CD. There's so many options. I did a video. Check my channel. I did a video a week ago about 10 places where you can park some money in 2024. All right, check that video out. It was a live that we did. Let's see. Emergency fund is an absolute must. Charlene, welcome from Boston. Good to have you here, and thank you for being here. Let's see here. Lacey says, I guess take care of your four walls. Yep. Um, it's very freeing to have an emergency fund. I totally agree with that. It's like a big weight lifted off your back to know that if something goes wrong, you can pay for it. It's about stress, right? It's a big stress reliever to have a savings, to have an emergency fund. So that's fantastic. Excellent way to put that. Let's see here. Don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe and share the video. Don't forget Mint Mobile in the description box. I think we're on number 6. We got 5 more of these I'm going to go through with you. Um, check out Mint Mobile. I'm very impressed by them. I wouldn't talk about them if I wasn't impressed. But if you want to save money on your wireless, please check them out. There's other good stuff in the description box as well. Free 24 Laws of Money ebook as well. Feel free to join the channel at the advanced level. I do one-on-ones, or I also do long form one-on-ones, right? Where we get on a Zoom call, we share screens, we do all that, and we go through where you are at line by line, expenses, your budget, and we look at that. We do all that stuff. That's a 2 hour, usually a 2 hour, close to 2 hour Zoom call. That's in the description as well, guys. Let's jump to number 6. Now, number 6, if you want to start, do better in 2024, You need to commit to coming out of debt in 2024 or commit to having a debt payoff plan that you're committed to, right? I'm a big fan of the debt snowball plan, guys. Debt snowball plan to pay off your debts, right? Now, I used the debt snowball plan, but it took me a long time to get out of debt. But it finally happened, right? I used sort of a version of the debt snowball plan. But you need to be looking at your debt in 2024. You talk about if an emergency fund feeling like you're getting a weight off your shoulders and making you less stressed, getting rid of debt. Debt, especially on the things going down in value, right? I'm not talking about your mortgage. I'm talking about things going down in value. Automobile loans, credit card debt, whatever it may be, student loans, right? Getting rid of those things off your shoulder, amazing, amazing feeling, right? So you want to be working on your debt. Again, we're talking about the foundation. When you free up and pay off debt, you free up money, right? Because that 500 a month that you're putting towards that car is now 500 a month that you could be putting towards investing more money, right? So I'm a fan of, I think it's like Dave Ramsey, getting rid of the debt. Getting rid of the debt on things going down in value, getting rid of it, not leveraging the debt to go get more debt. I get it. There's nothing wrong if it's that's your strategy to leverage as much debt as you can to go get more debt and using OPM, other people's money. If that's your strategy, go for it. It's not my strategy. That's not the strategy I use to go from a negative $30,000 net loss to my name to having a seven-figure net worth. I didn't use that strategy. I didn't use it. I didn't use the strategy of use my credit card, use my credit card, use my credit card, use my credit card, pay off the credit card, use my credit card, use my credit card, get 500 points, go fly to Las Vegas, use my credit card, use my credit card, pay off my credit. I didn't use that strategy. I cut up all my credit cards in 2011. Haven't used a credit card since. Haven't needed to. And all the while, I was building my wealth. This whole thing where people tell you you have to have a credit card if you want to build wealth and use other people's money and grow. You don't. Flat out. You really don't. Right? That's not how I built the portion of wealth that I have. Right? It's not. I didn't use it. I committed to saying I want to get rid of the debt. And guess what happened over the years of me getting out of debt? Here's my liabilities, here's my assets. For years, I focused on lowering my liabilities, lowering my liability. All the while, I had assets that were growing in appreciation, growing in appreciation. Look what happened. I went from a negative $30,000 net loss to my name, and over the years, simple, doing the really basic stuff, this is what happened to my net worth equation, right? Until the liabilities were gone, except for a few mortgages that I have on some rental property. The liabilities were gone or way down here, and the assets were up here because I just used the principle over time of building my assets that are appreciating and getting rid of the debt that's going down in value, right? So that's what I'm asking you guys to do. Commit to getting rid of the liability side of your equation, your net worth equation. I've used the I've used the debt snowball plan. Some folks like the avalanche plan. The debt snowball plan says this: you list your debts in order of smallest to largest, and then you take whatever cushion you have from your budget that you do every month, any discretionary income, and you use that discretionary income to pay off the smallest balance account. And then you use all that money, roll it up to pay the next account. Roll all that up that you were paying on the monthly basis plus the new money and pay off the third one. The point is that it rolls like a snowball. Use that method. Put that in your plan for 2024. That's where you start. Again, the foundation, right? The foundation, guys. Let me jump back here before I go to number 7 here. Just kind of run through the chat here, guys. 8 months it took me to save my emergency fund. On the ninth month, my transmission went out of my car, who was excellent. You had the money to pay for it. Fantastic. Um, let's see here. Look, St. Lucia checking in. Good to have you. Charlene, hey, Mommy Trader, good to have you here as well. Guys, check out her channel, Mommy Trader, here on YouTube. Let's see, getting dinner ready. Man, dinner sounds good. I'm so hungry. What we having today? No, just kidding. All right, good. Lakewood, Washington here. What is your take on I bonds? I bonds are cool. I don't mind I bonds. I bonds meaning inflation bonds, right? I like I bonds. They're okay if that's where you want to park some money, right? They're good. They were created for inflation, high inflation. We're out of that high inflation time period now, so I bonds won't be as nice as they were a year ago, right? Let's see. Some people like the avalanche method. Tony said the avalanche method of paying down debt, which is paying off your debts with the highest interest, right? And that's cool too, right? If that works for you, nothing wrong with it at all. In other words, you list your debts from highest interest to lowest interest, and you pay the ones with the highest interest off first. And then you roll that over to the next one, right? I just like when you list them from small to large, you knock out some of the small ones, right? Some people have $1,500 of credit card debt laying around that they could knock out in a month. And you start seeing some early wins. And so that's why I like that method. Let's jump to number 7, guys. Number 7, start 2024 off with a written, unique budget. Yes, I talk about budgeting all the time on this channel. A unique written budget that's written down on paper, spreadsheet, what have you, right? You don't have to create your own template. I mean, you don't have to use somebody's template for a budget. Create your own template. It will take you about 10 minutes. Income over here, expenses over here, or income up here, expenses down here. Whatever. Use a spreadsheet to create your own budget. You don't have to use a template. We live in this age nowadays where everybody wants an app to breathe, basically, right? I want an app to look at this. I want an app to breathe. I want an app to tell me when to use the restroom, when not to use the restroom. I need an app to eat. I need an app to watch how I. You don't need an app. You don't need an app. I try to keep as few apps on my phone as possible, right? You don't need an app to keep up with your money. Right? Some people say, well, I do need an app. Well, some people may, right? I get it. But for most of us, you just do a spreadsheet or you just write it on a piece of paper or you just take out it's easy. You can do it on a napkin. It doesn't matter. You just need to write a unique budget. This is where everybody messes up. They want to write the same budget every single month. No, you got unique things that come up every single month. You need a unique budget every month because your budget it's your measure of performance. Your budget helps you measure your performance with your money. Are you being a good steward over your personal finances? How do you know? It's hard to know. What do you use to measure if you're being a good steward over your personal finances? What do you use to measure to see if you're being a good manager over your money? Well, a budget is going to be that tool that can help you figure that out. You make a budget January 1 or December 31st, and then you come back and check the budget January 15th. You check the budget again January 28th. You can decide if you've been a good steward over your money in the month of January just by going back to check it. That's what a budget does. You write it down on paper. You don't have to memorize it. You don't have to pull all your bank statements. You don't have to go through your bank's website. You can just use your own spreadsheet if you want, right? Whatever you want to use. But you can use that thing. You don't need an app to help you keep up with your money, with your budget. You can use an app if you want. I didn't use an app, right? And I'm not saying that everybody has to do what I do, but you don't really need an app. All right. Some people ask me, what apps do you recommend? I recommend you use the app called You. That's the app I recommend. So, don't beat me up, guys. I like to give it to you straight sometime, right? But all you need is a will to do it. That's all you need, right? I grew up where my parent told me where there's a will, there's a way. That means if I want to get it done, there's a way to get it done, right? So when it comes to budgeting, you'd be surprised at how many people do not do a budget every single month. They just don't do it. I think the stats said 60% of people, 50, 60%, don't do a budget, a written budget every single month. They just kind of, I think the bank is keeping up with it on my bank statements. Or I look at, this app over here and I think that app is keeping up with it. No, you don't need an app, right? You can do it. This is how a budget is how you get organized. A budget is how you start to do some of this basic foundational stuff with your money. The budget is what keeps you in the guardrails. You know, when you're driving down the highway and there's rails over here and rails over here that says you can't go this far, this, you can't go. Your budget does that for you, right? Is it in the budget? Okay, I can't do it. Did I budget for it? Okay, I didn't budget for it. Okay, can we go to this concert? Okay, I saved a little money. I have it in the budget. Yes. Can I, right? It kind of helps dictate your behaviors with money. It's not a bad thing. It's holding yourself accountable to what you told yourself you were going to do with your money. It also, a budget helps put you in control over your money because you're telling your money what to do. You're directing your money. You're saying, hey, $35, you're going to go here. $175, you're going over there. March on over there. Get over there with the rest of the right. Get over there. $200, you go here. $1,000 for rent, you're going right here. You're telling your money what to do, right? That's control with your money. That's how you begin to win with money and stop being broke because a lot of people get stressed out because they let money tear them this way and tear them that way and pull them over here and pull them over there. And it's like you have no control, so you're stressed out. When you have a control over a situation to an extent, it relieves stress. That's why we said earlier, if you have money in the bank that will cover an emergency fund, I mean, an emergency, you've got $10,000, $15,000, you have much less stress because you have control over the situation called an emergency. As much control as you can financially. Well, a budget gives you control over your money as much as you can financially, right? Control equals less stress in life and in money, right? So that's a basic foundation thing of writing a budget. These are things that anybody can do in 2024, right? Most people, right, can do this. Not everybody. We know there's some people that have disabilities and so forth and things that aren't able, and that's understandable, right? But I'm speaking to the vast majority of us here, the 90% of us that can do this, right? Let's get it going. All right. Let me look back in the chat before I get to 8, 9, and 10 because those are super duper important. Yes, guys, please smash that like button below for me. Smash it, tap it, the thumbs up right there. Thanks so much. Hey, Miss C, good to have you here. Pen and paper here, Lacey. Fantastic, Lacey. Good. I like that. Lacey is solid. She's on the ball. I've got the first 6 months of my 2024 budget laid out in my budget book. Excellent, Kimmy. Kimmy, do me a favor. When you look at your budget, the first 6 months of 2024, allow a little bit of room for some uniqueness, some things that are going to come up and come through. Make sure you have a little bit of wiggle room and you do them that are, they should look a little bit different for each month, right? In February, so and so has a birthday, so I'm writing in the budget birthday gift for so and so. In April, my taxes are due, so I'm including that in my budget. So make sure those 6 months worth of budget is not identical to each other, that they're a little bit different because you've taken in consideration some of the differences in the months. So you want to have it unique, but excellent job on being prepared for 2024. Fantastic, Kimmy. Now, being a good steward over your money is important. I love having a budget. Yes, yes. Me too. Miss V said, I love having a budget too because it helps me formulate what I'm going to do. It points me in a direction, right? And makes you feel like you're in control, as I said. Excuse me. Let's see. Old school pen and paper. Yes, I'm an old school pen and paper too person. I didn't do a budget online until about 2017 when I started using a spreadsheet. Let's see here. Using the absolutely. You can do it. Salute back to you, Jay. Good to have you here. I appreciate you being here today. Control equals less stress. Yes, those words are golden. Man, we need to put that up, put that on a t-shirt, right? Um, let's see here. How do you budget with a fluctuating income? Good question. When you have an income that kind of changes month to month, I think when it comes to the income side, you need to think about what is it in terms of income that I know I'm going to make. Like what is the base salary, right? Well, if the base salary is let's say $4,000 a month that you're going to bring home, $4,000 a month. If that's the base, then you need to create your budget, the needs of your budget around that base that's going to be there. If it's $4,000 a month that you know you're getting automatically, notwithstanding commission and all that good stuff, then you need to do your budget around that 4,000. And then the extras in your budget should be commensurate with the potential for extra bonuses. bonuses, extra money beyond that, those basics, right? So $4,000 takes care of all the basics. Plus, if you want to do these extra things, these miscellaneous things that you add into your budget, it's commensurate with what is the extra money above and beyond 4,000 you get. And there's a lot of quirks, a lot of things we can dig into. That'd be a great one-on-one that we could have if you want to join the advanced, and we can have that conversation and look at your own specific money each month. Let's see. Somebody said, "Is it okay to disappear from the markets for a while to get your finances together?" Or stay in the market so not to miss out? I always say this. That's an excellent question, Millie Mill. Is it okay to disappear from the markets for a while to get your finances together, or stay in the markets, stock market, so not to miss out on potential gains? So, what is it you're getting your finances together for? I say personally, always have about 3 to 5% of your money going towards the markets, in the market. Now, if you want to go anything above and beyond 5%, you need to go ahead and do the other things you want to do. Build your emergency fund. Um, um, get your debt paid off. Right. All those things with that anything above. But I want you to stay in the market up to whatever your job matches. Let's say your job matches your 401k up to 3%, 4%. Still be getting that match. And even if they don't offer a match, still have about 3 to 5% of your money going towards the stock market, even when you're trying to get out of debt, even when you're trying to build your emergency fund. I don't believe the Dave Ramsey method of doing that. The Dave Ramsey method says, stop investing altogether while you work on getting out of debt. I don't believe you should do that. That's my personal opinion, right? I really enjoy and love and respect what Dave Ramsey does, but I don't think that's right. I think that you need to stay in the markets a little bit. I'm not telling you to put in 10, 20, 30% of your money to the stock market while you're trying to get out of debt. No, that kind of defeats the purpose. But still having 3 to 5% of your money going towards the market while you're trying to get your finances together, I think is okay. All right. So hope that answered that question. Let's go to number eight. The eighth thing to do in 2024, if you're looking to start, right, looking to start, is commit to spending less money in 2024. In other words, if you want to find out, guys, the first way that you can increase your income, the very first way to increase your income is to reduce your expenses. Spend less money. Be more frugal. Eat out less, right? Cook more at home, right? You ain't got to get that $5 Starbucks and that $3 deal from the quick trip or wherever you go. You need to try to increase the cushion between your income and your outgo, your income and your expenses. Try to extend that cushion, right? And the first way to extend that cushion is not to go out and get a side hustle. The first way is to sit down in front of your budget and see how you can spend less money, right? Maybe instead of $1,000 a month on food, you cut back to $800 a month on food, right? I'm not saying don't eat. I'm saying you got to eat, right? But maybe there's places where you can cut back some money, just a little bit, right? But commit to spending less money in 2024 if you can. You don't have to be the person that every time you make more money, you spend more money. Every time you get a raise, you increase something. You don't really have to do that, guys, right? For a lot of years, my expenses, other than inflation, because we know inflation is going to automatically increase everything, but other than inflation, I wasn't out trying to spend more money every time I make more money. So what I wanted to do is this is how it was in 2010. My expenses was my income and my expenses same. But over the years, guys, this is what happened. My cushion. At one point, I might have had $500 left over in there a month. But 5 years later, I had $1,500 left over. Right? 15 years later, I had $2,500 left over. Right? Oh, because I wasn't every time I made more, I didn't have to spend more. Get out of that habit. That's a bad habit. That's a consumer habit, a consumption habit, right? You don't want to be in that habit. So you want to make more money, but you want to spend the same or less money, right? In 2024, Do your best to reduce your expenses and be more frugal. If you want to know where to start, how to build the foundation, how to stop being broke, you have to say, okay, how do I stop being broke in 2024? Let me look at my, this is why you got to write it down. Let me look at my expenses. What can I cut? I can't cut that. Can't cut that. Sometimes, let me hear me out on this, guys. Sometimes you have to make a really, really hard decision. Sometimes you have to make a really, really tough, hard decision with your money when it comes to spending less. Okay. Just understand that, guys. It may be to sell something that you don't want to sell, it may be to get rid of something or do something different, change locations, move to a different city, whatever it may be. Sometimes you got to make hard decisions. I told somebody one time, if you can't afford living in downtown Seattle, you got to move. If you can't afford living in downtown Manhattan, you got to move. Manhattan, New York, you got to move. If you cannot afford living, near your job in Miami or near your job in San Francisco or LA, you got to move, right? People been moving for the last 10,000 years on this planet for to be able to afford things, right? It happens. I'm sorry to say, but it happens, right? So you got to make hard decisions sometimes, right? Let me look back through the chat before I go over number 9 and 10. Salute to you, Jay. Good to have you here, Jay. Um, let's see here, man. If you guys weren't here, like Jay reminded me, if you guys weren't here last Saturday, we gave out probably $650 worth of cash. Well, it was cash. It was Amazon gift cards. Let's put it like that. It was Amazon gift cards, $50 gift cards and $75 gift cards. We were celebrating being over 100,000 subscribers on this channel, and I just wanted to give away money to you guys, and that's what it did. It was fun. We had a good time. Let's see. How do you budget? We said that. Okay, smash. Thanks for smashing the like button, TJ. I appreciate it. Good to have you here as well. Good to see you. Thanks for the suggestion. You got it, Kimmy. I definitely need to work on having a budget. Yes, please work on having a budget. It's very, very important. Appreciate you too, Seminole 2014. Let's see here. Me either. I don't agree with Dave Ramsey on that issue. Yep. No spend January, four walls only. I like that. I've been teaching myself financial literacy as a person with a disability on a fixed income. It's been tough. You can do it though, right? You can do it, Devin. Absolutely. All about lowering debt. Congratulations, Devin. You got it, man. You're on your way. Let's see here. No Strings Podcast. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And No Strings Podcast with Real said, congrats, Unc, 100,000 subs. Absolutely love it. My goal is 2 billion to be a dividend king. Yes, you can do it, man. Hang tight, keep going, keep working, keep pushing. You got this. You got this. Let's see here. Jose said, I always like listening to you, my man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Good job, Devin. Yeah, good job, Devin. Congratulations to you, Devin, again. Let's see. These medical and credit card APRs are getting outrageous. 20 something. I think the credit card percentages or interest is up to late 20%. Crazy. I've given myself 4 years to try my best to eliminate it as best as possible. Let's go with 2 years. All right, Devin. Let's just try 2 years. See what we can do to get you 2 years. I know you. Let's get a little side income going. Let's try to see if we can get that. When you have a dream or a dream bigger, right? Double your dream, right? Let's see. Thank you, Jay. Let's see. Boom. Congratulations. Thanks for sharing this information. Hey, my pleasure, Sherrod. If you were living before without the extra money, just save it. Absolutely. Um, Felix said, hey, can you give me assistance in investing? How, Felix? Let's have this conversation. Number 9. The ninth thing to do, I got 10 of these. The ninth thing to do, where to start in 2024 to stop being broke, right, is this: commit to increasing your investments. Hey, look at there, Felix. We're going to talk about it. Commit to increasing your investments, investing more of your money on things going up in value, such as the stock market, right? Don't forget, guys, fear is an industry. I hope you got that. Fear is an industry. People make trillions of dollars off of putting you in fear. Don't get caught up in fear when we talk about stock market investing in 2024. Everyone is trying to scare you, right? Scare you to do this with your money, scare you to do that with your money. Uh-oh, this person's going to be president. You better watch out. This person's going to be president. You better watch your money. Fear is $1 trillion industry. It's big money in making you scared. Okay? They're going to try to scare you with your money in 2024. I guarantee you. If you look at the internet right now, you look at YouTube right now, you'll see people who have these titles of their videos on YouTube trying to scare you, right? Because fear is an industry. Fear causes people to want to find out and click on your videos on YouTube, right? Everybody is going to try to scare you on TV, in the movies, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, Twitter, whatever it may be. Fear, right? Don't fall for the fear, right? Don't fall for the fear. What are the tried and true ways of making money the last couple of 100 years or 150 years? The tried and true. Doesn't mean it's always going to be there. Stock market investing, real estate investing, developing and building your own business. Three things. The big three is what I call them: stock market investing, real estate investing, and developing and building your own business. All you need is two of those. All you need is two of those. If you get two of the big three, you're in fine shape. Start developing two of the big three. I'm in real estate. I'm in the stock market. I have my own business. Smart Money Bro LLC is a business. Right? Go to smartmoneybro.com. You'll see we have a whole business. Right? So, and also I have, real estate. Right? And so I also am in the stock market. If you're able to get in all three, or if you're able to get in two of the three, you're in fine shape. Just keep investing and stay away from the fear mongering. It's an election year. And when it's an election year, guys, coming up in America in 2024 is an election year. What typically happens in election years? The year leading, the months and so forth leading up to an election, typically slower returns in the stock market. Slower returns because of what? Uncertainty in the markets. Uncertain as we get to March, April, May, June, July, August, and then August and September, leading up to, and then October, which I think October is typically the worst year for stocks anyway. But as we get closer to November, when elections happen in 2024, you're going to see a little bit of volatility and some slower gains in the stock market always. And then after November, December and January of next year, you'll see a slight rebound. It happens almost every election year we have in terms of electing a president for the United States, right? So just be aware of that, guys. You're going to see some uncertainty in the market. Now, if you're an investor, that's good. If you're an investor, that means it's time to buy. When everybody has some uncertainty and there's some fear, it's time to buy, right? But just keep in mind that the market performance tends to be a little shaky leading up to an election, right? And regarding of who's in office, there's different, ways of measuring that, Republican, Democrat, et cetera, right? But just keep in mind the propaganda that you're going to be guaranteed to see coming across your TV and your news feeds. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. There will be some propaganda coming across your news feeds about the elections and about the stock market and the problems with the stock market and what may happen, what may not happen. They're going to be trying to scare you, right? Let me see here as we move on. We're talking about investing right now. Let's see here. Let me see. Do I believe in velocity banking? I'm not a big fan of velocity banking. No. Do I believe that it could work for some? Yes, but I'm not a big fan of it. Open a few high yield savings to move money so that they're not really accessible for. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Are the rules for retired people different from working folks? Follow the rules, set up for retirement, and then folks retire. Then what? The rules are a little bit different when you have investments and savings that you're living on and you're not really contributing more to that. The rules are a little different. The number one rule, though, is you got to start before you get to that point. Try to be as frugal as possible because typically your expenses are going to go down. I mean, sorry, your income is going to go down when you retire. So you gotta kind of have a different shift in the way you think if you're living off income that you've saved and retired on, and you have savings and you're getting Social Security. You got to have sort of a different mind frame and even more frugal. These things are more important for the person that's retired because this management of money is much more important and critical when you're not bringing in a whole bunch more money every single month from a job. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, let's see here. New CTA laws. Which ones are you talking about, Edwards? Edwards, let me know specifically. Let's see. Top investments. Top investments. I am a index fund guy. Okay. I like index funds. And so I'm an index fund person. I'm not a mutual, although index are a form of mutual funds. I like more passive investments, more passive management of my funds. So index funds, mutual funds, big bucket of funds. I am a Vanguard person, right? Some people like Charles Schwab. Some folks love Fidelity, right? Some folks really enjoy BlackRock and iShares, right? Whatever it may be. I like Vanguard, right? So for me, I don't really do a lot of investing. I do have some individual stocks, guys, but most of my money is with the TSP, Thrift Savings Plan, because I'm a government worker, or and it's with mutual funds. Now, some of my favorite mutual funds from Vanguard, and you can figure out what the equivalents are on Fidelity or Charles Schwab, et cetera, or JP Morgan, wherever you actually invest your money, Merrill Lynch, what have you. But listen, I'm a big fan of these larger ETFs that take into account large swaths of the S&P or of the total market. So, for example, VOO. I'm a huge fan of VOO, right? Excuse me. I'm a big fan of VTSAX, right? Which is, and you got to, and VTSAX is, there's a minimum investment, I think, of $3,000 into VTSAX, right? But I also like VGT, right? VGT is more IT. It's heavily on the IT AI space when it comes to specifically what I invest my money in at Vanguard. I do have a little bit of what's called what is BLV, a little bit. I'm more like a 90-10 split between index bond ETFs and others, right? But I like the big ones that cover large pieces of the overall market. Like I say, VTSAX, VOO, VGT is a good one. If you guys have VGT, excellent. You can see right now VGT, I think for the year is up 30 or 40%. But the point is that those are some of the ones that I like to dig into in terms of index funds. I'm an index fund guy. I'm a Jack Bogle person. I wouldn't call myself a boglehead. I think he calls the people, but I just like those index funds that have low expense ratios, right? They don't cost very much to actually manage. Um, and at the same time, they're covering a large piece of the overall market. Here's the deal, guys. If I like the index funds because listen, index funds typically, obviously, they go the way of the sector, whatever sector it's invested in or has in the bucket of funds. And if something happens to the stock market, guys, and all of a sudden the stock market bellies up and goes down for 5 straight years, we're all in trouble, right? I just prefer because studies show that index funds actually outperform mutual funds, right? And mutual funds typically, not all the time, but typically have a higher fee. So if we're looking at what to invest in, some of the top investments, those are the ones that I like that are following the overall stock market, right? From Vanguard, by the way, right? Let's see, somebody said, I've been listening more than watching. The Budget Mom on YouTube has lots of great budgeting ideas. Yep, check her out, Budget Mom on YouTube. Absolutely. If you guys know of a solid YouTuber, drop them in the comments, man. I'm the type of guy that I like everybody to win on this thing. There's enough out here for all of us to eat, right? She has lots of so Budget Mom, check her out. She has lots of free budget planning downloads to use as well. If you're looking for a budget or how to do a budget, absolutely. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I just shared a few tickers, TJ, VOO, VTI. Those are ones that I personally invest in. Another one that I deal with is VYM, which is a solid one as well. But there's a number of ticker symbols in terms of Vanguard. Let's see. I'm trying to decide what is VIIX and VIGIX. I got to look those up to see exactly what they are for my Roth 403B. Yeah, you got to make the decision, guys. Check out a few of the websites that are around as well. in terms of comparisons, right? When you compare, you got Morningstar out there, you got Market Watch. If you go on Vanguard, you can go to Vanguard and compare ETFs and compare mutual funds. They have you don't have to be a member of Vanguard or have a Vanguard account. It's free to compare on Vanguard's site different mutual funds and index funds or ETFs that you want to compare. Of course, there's ETF.com, right? Check that out as well. Fund Visualizer is another one. Fund Visualizer. I think you can compare a lot on there as well. So that's just a few other places where you can go and actually do some comparisons of these ETFs. Because again, a lot of the ones that I like, there's a lot of crossover, right? Between what's in VTSAX and VOO. There's some crossover, right? In terms of the actual things that are in the companies that are in the bucket. So you can do that and compare as well to see which ones you like, but do your research and read the fine line. Do you suggest I budget the way you teach, even if all my income is side gigs? No W-2, said Meet Burt. My paychecks are always different every week. That's a good question. If all you have is side gigs, then you gotta really look at how much you can actually bring in. How much is a staple that you bring in? Maybe it's $1,000 a month. Maybe the staple is $2,000. But try to do your budget off what you know you're gonna get, or you know you can get. Studio City, LA. BYM. Yes, BYM is the dividend in, I think SCHD from Charles Schwab is the equivalent of that. But yeah, that's a dividend. They pay dividend. I always reinvest dividends, guys. That's what I do. Put them right back. I don't need that cash right now. I don't want that cash. I want to go ahead and I want my dividends to compound over the course of 10, 15, 20 years, right? Compound my dividends just like you compound, my regular money, if that makes sense. But guys, like I said, VTI, VTSAX, which there's a minimum to get into that one. I think it's $3,000 minimum on Vanguard. Um, what VGT is a good one as well, as I mentioned, guys. So I could show some of that, but we're running pretty long right now, so I don't want to show some of those websites where you can compare funds. But those are a few of them that I actually invest in specifically. Um, so you can do what I do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I've done research on the ones that I like and what I invest in. If you join this channel, I do plan to do more videos about my actual investment portfolio, which I have a portfolio here, but I also have a portfolio within my thrift savings plan, right, with my job. So I've got a couple of those portfolios. At the same time, I still have the real estate as well. And don't slip on real estate. I know that interest rates are higher in the sixes right now. They may go down here shortly, even more. They were in the sevens, but the interest don't trip on the interest rates. Buy real estate when you're ready to buy real estate. You don't have to time the market necessarily when it comes to real estate, right? Um, and it doesn't have to be fancy, guys. You don't have to start a family office. I don't know if you guys know, but a family office, high net worth earners, $10 million or more. A lot of them start family offices. I'm not saying you have to start a family office or do anything like that. And if you don't know what a family office is, you can Google it. A family office. It's where high net worth earners they start families. That's where they keep up with their money, pass their money on. They hire people to actually help them manage their money. If we have one in here, a high net person who has a family office, fantastic. All right. So number 10 is this. In 2024, if you want to stop being broke, where to start is make sure you know your numbers in 2024. Know where you are. Know your numbers in 2024. Now, here's the numbers real quick. I'll give you a few of them. Your total assets, know that. Your total liabilities, know that. Your net worth, know that. Your total income every single month, know that. Your total expenses every single month, know that. Your what is your job match in terms of a 401k or a 403b? Know that. What percentage do they make you automatically put in, and what percentage are you actually putting in? Know that. Know how much the cushion, your discretionary income is each month, meaning the difference between your income and your expenses. Know that number, right? Also, know your credit score, right? What is your credit score? Maybe you want to buy a home or an investment property. What is your credit score? Know that. Know what the interest rates that you are paying for all the things that you're paying monthly fees on. If you have a mortgage or a car payment, what's the interest Not, I think it's about, it's around four. No, know the exact number. 8.5%, 8.5, 9.3, 2.1. What is that interest rate? Know the interest rate. And then keep up with the interest that you're being paid on the money that you have invested year to date. What is the interest? Look at the statement when it comes to you once a month through email or in the mail, right? Look at the statements, right? Know your numbers is the point of number 10. What is the exact number that's in your emergency savings today? What is the exact number that you want to be in there? What is the goal that you have for your emergency money? Know your numbers, right? That's information that you need to know, right? So what that you can turn on a podcast or a YouTube channel and you know what that person is doing with their money. What is your numbers telling you about your own money, right? I talk to people a lot, guys, and when I talk to people and I start asking them some of these numbers, they don't know them. I say 9 out of 10 people don't know these numbers, right? I know we have some real savvy people in this chat right here, but most people, I say, what is your job match? I'm not really sure if they even have a match. I think it's 2.5, maybe it might be 3.5. I'm not really sure. Listen, know what's going on with your money. Keep up with it. It's your money, right? You should know, right? Let me check out the chat real quick, guys, and see what you got. Let's see here. Good, I found you. I'm glad you're here, Meat Burt. You're voting. I'm voting for you in 2024. Make America's wallet great again. Thanks, Meat Bird. I might run in 2024. No, I'm not running, but I appreciate your help and your support. But you got to know your stuff, guys. Now, the things I talked about on this video is the basics. This is the basics to knowing your money. It's not fancy. It's not sexy. It's not glamorous. It's not beautiful. It's not flashy. You're never going to see me standing next to a BMW or name a car. I'm not going to have on a watch and gold chain. No, I'm not going to, none of that. It's not fancy. It's basic stuff, right? Like an analogy I used before, guys. If you want to be a good basketball player, who cares about how well you dunk the ball? Who cares? Nobody cares about how high you jump. That doesn't mean anything. That just makes the highlights. That doesn't mean anything. It's not, that doesn't have anything to do with winning the game. Nothing. You dunk real fancy and you can jump real high. Okay, but can you play basketball? Right? Can you dribble very well? Right? Can you take care of the ball? Can you pass the ball very well? Basic passes. That doesn't be fancy. Can you get the ball from point A to point B without the ball getting stolen? Right? Can you shoot the rock? Can you shoot the ball? Right? Can you actually, if we swing the ball to you 100 times, how many of those are you going to knock down from three? Right? How many of those are you going to knock down from the elbow? Right? What is your free throw percentage? Are you shooting 20% from the free throw line or 80%? Right? All you got to do in basketball to be a great basketball player is do the basics better than everybody else. Same thing applies to your money. Do the basics better than everybody else. That's all I've done to build my wealth is the basic stuff better than most, right? I'm no different than any of you all watching this, right? I probably started off 20 years ago in worse conditions than most of you watching this video in terms of money, right? But here's the deal. I just got good at doing the really basic stuff better than everybody else. I got good at doing a budget. I got good at saving for an emergency fund. I got good at knowing my numbers. I got good at investing my money on a regular basis consistently without touching it, getting a loan on it or taking my withdrawing money from it, right? I got better than everybody else at committing to not increasing my expenses every time I made more money, right? I got better than everybody else at a unique written budget. Since 1994, I haven't missed a month of doing a budget since 1994. No joke, right? No, what do they call it? No cap, right? Trying to be young, right? No cap. 1994 until 2017, it was in ledger books and on notebook paper, right? I got better than everybody else at doing the basics, not fancy stuff, nothing fancy. I started reading books about money before the internet. Well, before the internet got big, right? I got good at setting clear goals about where I want to go with money. I got good about committing to building a strong, solid foundation with my money. I got good at all the stuff that's boring and doesn't get you clicks and doesn't get you a bunch of likes. That's all I'm saying here, guys. Get really good at the stuff that's gonna make you actually win with money in 2024. Not look like you're winning with money, but actually win with money. That's the kicker, right? That's what I do. And that's what I hopefully share that and bring that across to you guys in these videos, in these live feeds, explaining this could have been a 10-minute video. But the information is so important. I wanted to have it in a live conversation with you guys so we could get some back and forth, so we can answer some questions, so somebody can check this out in 2 weeks and or in a week or two and say, oh, okay, that's what. Let me do this. Oh, let me do that. Huh? Let me get focused on that. Right? Question: Roth IRA to reach 7,000 max contribution in 2024. What would be the lowest limit contribution for a reasonable compound effect? That's a real relative question, Millie Mill. Anything you put in there is going to give you a compounding effect. Try to put as much as you can towards your Roth. That's what I would suggest. So good question, but it's kind of a subjective question. Um, there's no lowest limit contribution for a reason. Put in as much as you can. That's kind of the suggestion I would give you, Millie Mill. Thanks for asking that. Let's see. Started my IRA this year. Fantastic. Congratulations to you, Will. I'm Mr. Mister. I approve this message. Hey, thanks, Mr. Mister. Good to have you here. Yes, appreciate that. So here's the deal, guys. I wanted to give you this information from me to you. I come on here on Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to help as many people as I can help, to answer as many questions as I can answer, to give you guys something that's going to feed you financially, feed you mentally, changing your mind around the concepts of money, right? Changing your mind about the fact that I believe that anybody can win with their money. Anybody can win with their money. And sometimes building wealth is not just in the money. If you do the things that I mentioned on this live right here, if you do these, you're going to be a wealthier person. Not just because you're going to have more money, but because you're going to have better insights on what to do with your money. You're going to have stronger resolve about how to be more disciplined with your money. You got a few extra tools in your tool belt in your toolbox about how to manage money and how to be good with your money. Those are all portions of building wealth, right? So it's not just having more money, but it's having more knowledge, more information, more wisdom, more discipline, more commitment, right? All those things is wealth building, right? Because it's not just about the money, but it's about all these side peripheral things that affect your money, right? But I'm trying to show you how to manage your money better. And when you become a better steward or manager over your money will grow. It will grow. Just manage the money better. And of course, we want you to have higher income and bring in more money and all that good stuff. That's cool. We want you to do all that, but you gotta take care of what you got first. Because what happens to most people is they want to learn, how can I have a side gig to bring in more income? How can I build my wealth? How I want to make more money. I want to actually have more money. What do I have to do? What side hustle? But the kicker is, what are you doing with the money you currently have? Are you mismanaging what you currently have? Because if you're mismanaging $50,000 a year, you're going to mismanage $100,000 a year. You're going to definitely mismanage $500,000 a year. So let's get this foundation strong first. Then we can start piling money on top of good money behaviors. Start piling new income on top of good money management. That's what we want. And so that's what I do on this channel, guys. We talk about growing your income streams, making more money, adding more money to what you can do, right? How to build this YouTube channel, how to build an eBay business, how to invest in real estate, how to do all these things. But you got to get a firm foundation first. It doesn't take long to get a firm foundation. These 10 things, you can do all these things in a matter of a week or less, right? And then we can say, how do we get more income? That's what we do on this channel, guys. Oh, somebody said, let me read the chat here. Um, Yeah, no cap. I tried to be like, right, that's what the young kids say, no cap, right? Um, let's see. So hey, let's see. I grew up in a home where money wasn't discussed. Yes, children. Yeah, it's free, right? When you want to talk about money as much as possible, guys, because as I said before, you need to learn the language of money and get comfortable talking about money. Thank goodness for me, guys. I was a teacher in the 1990s. I am a, and since 2002, I've been employed with the federal government. So my salary and everything I make is public. I don't care that you know what I make or what I have. Doesn't matter, right? It's public knowledge. My salary, what I've made at jobs, have been public knowledge since 1994. So I'm a little different, but I say, hey, you gotta don't keep a veil of secrecy over money, right? Don't do that. A lot of people do that. They don't want to talk about money. And guess what? When you don't want to talk about something and you keep something hidden in the shadows, it you don't really grow. It's hard to grow like that, right? Because it's hard to get new information because you're not sharing. So it's tough. And it's really tough because when you hide the talk about money, you don't talk about it, then it's hard to get any outside influence to give you any new ideas, new fresh ideas, the new ways to look at your money, etc. Right? And we all only know what we know, right? So hey guys, I'm not going to belabor the point. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate you guys more than you know for coming in here on Thursdays and having this conversation with me. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate you guys smashing the like button. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys. This is the type of common sense information about money that typically doesn't get a lot of likes, typically doesn't get a lot of attention, right? But since you're in the chat here, let's bring attention to this common sense way of looking at money that's not flashy, not sexy, not over glamorous, right? Nothing fantastic. It's just the basic stuff that we all can and should be doing with our money. Let's bring attention to it. How do we bring attention? You can help me. The best way to help this channel is to actually share this video with somebody you know. Share this live stream with somebody you know. Yeah, I know it's kind of long. Everybody doesn't have attention span to hang in there for an hour and a half, right? But maybe you watch parts of it, right? There may be. I'm going to put some what do you call it? Table of contents or something, some timestamps in here. Later today, I'll put the timestamps in. But by the time you send them here to this video, there'll be timestamps, and they can check that out and go through the pieces of the video that they actually want to look at, or watch the whole thing, right? But this is what you can do to get the information out. You guys can help me to share the video. Also, check out some of the other videos that I have on this channel that are live streams but are not live streams, right? Because the whole point of the channel is to help you grow your money, invest more money, have more money, and manage your money better, right? That's the whole point of the channel. So that's what we talk about on here, guys. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh, somebody said, may I have a Merry Christmas? Yeah, you have a Merry Christmas too. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Please take good care of yourself. I'm going to be on here on Saturday for one last one before next week, a Saturday broadcast. Guys, be looking for that live to come across your feed. Also, every day I try to drop something motivating, inspiring, and something that encourages you guys on the community tab here at YouTube. So be watching for that. I like to give people something to think about that's positive, that they can grow from as well in that community tab, and share with you things that I may have coming up as well. So be checking that out. Check the description box for free stuff. 24 Laws of Money free, my gift to you. Also, check the description box on how you can join this channel. You can have a one-on-one conversation with me talking about your personal financial situation if you join this membership, guys. Join this channel. Also, I do one-on-one conversations with folks where we jump on a Zoom and we talk about your own personal financial situation. That information is in the description box as well. But I certainly appreciate you guys. Really, more than you know. I'm going to be here on Saturday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to jump into something a little interesting on Saturday. I want you to stay tuned for that. Thank you so much, TJ, for listening, and I appreciate you, Kathy, as well. Thanks for showing up, Kathy. So with that, guys, as I always say at the end of every video, end of every live stream, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Not only do I appreciate you guys, but I always tell you, the best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you today. That's the best person who's going to take care of you. Not the government, not the president, not your Congress member, not your local city council, definitely not that nursing home. The best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you, right? You guys take good care of yourself and always take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.